Hey, what's up? Today I want to show you how to wrap your lightsaber handle in leather without using any adhesive or glue. All you're going to need is the leather and the lightsaber. So what you first want to do is go ahead and remove your handle from your saber. It's just a matter of screwing it off. Put your saber to the side. You won't need it from now. All you're going to need is your handle. So if you're like me and your handle has a cover take wheel, you're going to want to go ahead and remove that as well. So the Allen key that most companies provide you will only work for your retention screw. They will not work for the cover take knob. What I suggest doing if you're getting into this hobby is getting your own set of Allen keys. I have one that just pops magnetically into this thing. This is also for a bunch of other home DIY stuff, but it works great for this saber hobby. Find one that fits and just go ahead and unscrew the cover take knob. Take it out and put that to the side. You won't be needing that either. And you don't have to, but it just frees things up. Go ahead and remove your pommel as well. That's what I like to do when I do this. And then you're left with just your handle. Now, for the method that I use, you're going to want to start from the top down. A lot of other people wrap from the bottom up. But since this method doesn't use any glue or adhesive, you're going to want it to be as tight as, like, the most secure at the top where you're going to be gripping it the most. So start from the top down. First, you're going to go ahead and grab your leather. I've already gone ahead and done this, but what you want to do is give it a first initial wraparound. So most leather won't come cut like this, especially not the one that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and link this where I got this from in the description from Etsy. It won't come like this. It'll just be square. So what I would do is I'd go ahead and just give it an initial really loose wraparound. Mine's already coming undone up there, but you just want to see that you have leather that is long enough, as mine is, to make it all the way around. And if you have that, that was so half-assed, but whatever. Essentially, you want to measure out that you've got leather that'll make it all the way from the top to the bottom. And again, I'm not being very specific because you'll see later on, actually, if you have a bit of excess leather, it helps your leather stay tighter on your handle. You don't want too much though, but a little bit is always helpful. Then what you're going to want to do is cut a very steep angle like this. Your leather will probably come square. You're going to want to go ahead and cut that like so. I've already gone ahead and done that. What I did is I used a box knife and a ruler to keep my edge straight, and I just went ahead and did that on both ends. And as you can see, my ends are not perfect tips. They're also a little rough, but that's fine. You know, this method doesn't require any exact workmanship. Then you're going to go ahead and grab your handle. And like I said, start from the top. So I want to start just under this little lip here, which is going to be my guide. And you're going to start the way you would any leather wrap, which is by pinching that there and very simply going around. Keeping a straight line. Then what I like to do is I like to do a little trade-off here. My fingers. Put that underneath. And then pinch it there. So now you've got your first wraparound. And this is now important because this will kind of help you figure out the rest of your wrap. Create somewhat of a lip here. And to make sure not to do it very loosely, don't just go ahead and wrap your leather around. Pull it tight and apply. The tighter you pull it, the more secure it'll be without the adhesive. So really give it a yank and pull it over. And create a little bit of an overlap. The more leather you have for your grip, the bigger your overlap will be. I don't really have a lot of leather. Mine is actually reused from a different saber that I got a different color wrap for. But it also fits this handle just with a very light overlap. At some points mine, I don't even think will overlap at all, but that's also fine. Make sure to pull and apply always Make sure it's nice and tight, never loose. And in this process, patience is really key. They're always talking about patience in Star Wars, so why not have some yourself? Slow and steady wins the race, as always. You'll thank yourself later when you do not need to go back and reapply the leather. Just see, so I'm having a little trouble here with my lip, or my overlap, I should say. Just keep going back and redoing it, pulling it tight, and applying it over. Keep checking, making sure it's really tight against that leather. There's no wiggle room, there's no give. Really pull it across and making sure that it's nice and even. And then when you come to the bottom, so I messed up. It's no biggie. As you can see, I have a little bit of extra here. That's fine. That probably means I just had a bit too much of a lip for the length of my leather. So I'm just going to go back and eliminate some of that. Oh yeah, here it is. There's a pretty thick lip there. Go back. Try it again. Pull and apply. Nice and easy, no stress. It's okay if you mess up. I did too. And just keep going. Yeah, I think now I got it. Yeah, I can tell I got enough leather now. Keep applying it, making sure that the metal underneath is not showing. Yeah, unless you want it to. If you like that little janky Star Wars look, go ahead. See, again, messing up my overlap here. Yeah, there we go. And then if you've done it correctly, as I have now the second time around, you'll get to the bottom and you will realize that you've got a little bit of an overlap. That's no problem. That is exactly what we want. You're going to go ahead and see where the overlap starts, which is right there. Let go of your leather. You're going to need very articulate fingers for this. I'm using my pinkies. And now, when you go back around, pull this lip up. Like that. Fold it over. And go around. You see how that's folded over? Pull the leather around. Some of you might know what's happening now. Because once that's down and under there, you can pull this back like so. Make sure it's nice and neat. And then you've got a secure ending. And to make it even more secure, remember the way that you were wrapping, the direction you were wrapping in. Take it kind of in between your thumb and pointer finger like that, and twist in that direction with purpose to really shove it under there more and get it really tight. And if you've done it correctly, your handle is now wrapped and it's not coming loose. And the best part about this is, like I said, no glue, nothing. If you want to put your cover take wheel back on, let's say you don't have a D-ring like I have, just find a hole in there, put your finger in. And what I like to do on builds like that is I like to take the Allen key, the shorter one, poke a hole through the leather, and then go ahead and take my cover tick wheel and just, I'm not going to screw it in on this one. I don't want it to be on this build. And just put the cover tick wheel on ahead and screw it in. If you're like me and you don't want that, go ahead and leave it. That hole is covered up now, like you wanted. Take your pommel. Again, remember where the top of your saber is. That's this here. For me, it's that lip. Put your pommel on. Grab the rest of your saber, switch and emitter. Slide it on. And just like that, your saber is wrapped. No glue, no adhesive, no extra charge from Vader's Vault. And the best part is, since you wrap from the top down, the section that you're going to be gripping and holding is the section that no matter how much friction you give, because you pulled and applied, it will be nice and strong. Down here it's strong too. I just don't like putting this bit at the top because with a lot of friction it may or may not come loose. Obviously, if you would like to apply a layer of adhesive underneath this, go ahead and do that. Double-sided tape also works. This is just a great method for you to wrap your lightsaber. And if you're like me and you're constantly changing your mind about that kind of stuff, you can take it right off again without any problem, without having to clean anything. And the leather is reusable. So that took about 15-20 minutes, and there's nothing you need except the leather and the lightsaber. Thanks so much for tuning in, and consider liking and subscribing for more tips and tricks like this about everything lightsabers. Thanks so much.